Welcome to our home buying seminar. I'm going to go over some basics on buying a home. My name is Diane Bowden. I'm Miss Keller Williams Realty Northeast.
We're going to spend some time today talking all about you and helping you find your way home. Because really, every single buyer has unique needs and everyone's a little bit different in what they're looking for. You may be looking for a fenced backyard for that pet if you're a renter, for your dog. Or maybe you've always wanted a big kitchen for entertaining. Maybe you're looking for a good school district. We've seen buyers' needs change this year as we're coming out of the pandemic. Some people are really looking for a home office and they're spending more time at home. So they're finding they want other things. After the big freeze, we're finding people want fireplaces here in Texas. So whatever your needs are, we're going to be looking at that.
When you buy a home, you're actually buying a lifestyle. So whatever lifestyle you're looking for, you may be looking for certain amenities in your neighborhood. Maybe it's this just fantastic schools for your children. Maybe it's that oasis in your backyard, a place, an outdoor kitchen for barbecuing, or a place in the country. So you decide whether you'd rather be fishing on a pond out in the country or in a high-rise downtown. You're buying a lifestyle. When you buy a home, of course, you pay monthly mortgage fees, but that is socking money away into the equity of the home. It actually forces you to save. And since homes appreciate over time, this is the best way to put you on the road to financial freedom and help you save money. So the question might be, should I buy now? We've heard about it being a frantic market, a hot selling market, which is true. It's been relaxed just a little bit for sellers, although it's still a seller's market, but it's still, yes, a very good time to buy. Homes are still appreciating, which means you're going to build wealth when you buy a home, and it's going to increase in home equity. And it's really one of the best ways to financial freedom because rents are certainly going up as well. You've heard a lot about the competitiveness in today's market, or you probably have. We're seeing that we're still getting some multiple offers on some homes, but not all homes. They have to be priced right now because the market's softening just a little bit for sellers. They're not moving quite as fast and furious, which is great for buyers because that means you may not be working with competitive bids. It's not a guarantee, but it's a little less hectic for a buyer. At this point, you may be wondering, can I afford to buy a home? Is my credit score high enough? Well, how much am I going to need for closing costs? Can I get any help with my down payments? These are all very good questions. And these questions, you need to put a pen and paper to it before you determine the answer. And you need some help. The best person to look for is a lender that can give you some help with these numbers. They'll let you know where you stand. And a good lender can offer solutions so that in the near future, or maybe just around the corner, you can buy. So the first thing you want to do, and steps for buying a home, would to get the right people on your side. Obviously, you need a lender to help you know what your buying power is and help you get to the closing table. You also need to hire an agent. And when I say hire an agent, a buyer's agent is actually free for the buyer. The seller still pays commission to the agent, so just know that. But it is someone on your side who's committed to work with you and communicate with you along the way so you always know what's coming next. The first thing, you're going to sit down with your agent and you're going to talk about what are your needs and your wants. What are the must-haves that you want in your home? And when you start to look at properties together, that may shift a little bit. You may change your mind about some of the things. And that's why it's a really good idea to look at quite a few properties up front because in this market, it'll help you kind of really have a clear picture of what you want. And then when you find one you love, you'll be ready to act because This market, when you snooze, you lose. It's just, things are just moving way too fast. When you do find a home that ticks all those boxes, you're going to sit down with your agent and we'll craft an offer together to present to the seller. Your agent will look at recently sold properties called comps or comparables and give you a good idea of what the home is worth, because it may be listed high or low, and then you decide what you want to offer for that home. There's more than sales price that's part of the offer. There are terms as well. For example, when is the closing date? Who's going to pay for the title policy? These are considered terms within the contract. There's also contingencies. Contingencies allow a buyer to be released from the contract if they don't get their financing, or if they found too many repairs during the option period. So these are contingencies with time limits. And of course, the seller, to appeal to the seller, they want the shortest contingency periods possible. Now, a buyer will put down earnest money if the offer is accepted, and that shows the seller that they're earnest about their offer. That's what they stand to lose if they are in default. However, if they close as anticipated, that earnest money is credited towards their closing. The other thing they put down is an option fee. This allows them to have an option period with an unrestricted right to opt out of the contract for any reason. Typically, it's something inspection related, but it can be for any reason during that option period. Now, I know you've been hearing about the fact that there's so much competition for buyers right now because there's so low inventory. Each home is in very much demand. So you do need an agent that can have strategies for competing in these multiple offer situations. But some of these strategies can be as simple as having a good rapport with the other agents, having good communication with them, just talking to the seller's agent and finding out what the seller really wants, whether it's a high price or sometimes it's the terms. Sometimes they want more time to be in their house before they close. So all of those things are really important. And there's also some new programs that help buyers have a little bit of an edge too. When you do go under contract during the option period days, you're going to want to have a home inspection. Now, this is considered gambling money because it's possible you'll decide after the inspection there's too many repairs, and if you can't reach an agreement with the seller, you may opt out of the contract. So I call it gambling money, but it's important gambling money because this is one of your largest assets, and you're protecting that asset by having this home inspection. And when you get your home inspection back, it's important to focus on the big things, the big deal breakers, not the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff because there's no such thing as a perfect home. Every home will have something indicated on that home inspection that's not quite right. Generally, it's a good practice to go for the win-win. There's got to be a give and take on both sides for the seller and the buyer to reach an agreement during that option period. The next step, the title company will be handling the money for the transaction. They'll be holding it there at the title company, and they'll be running a title search to see that there's clear title to the property. There isn't anything that clouds the title. And if the title is clear, they can issue title insurance, ensuring if something should come up later that they didn't catch during this search, that they will step in and help cover you for any title defects. In the final stretch, as you approach closing, you will get a closing disclosure from the lender, and you and your agent can review it together before closing. You'll also have an opportunity to walk through the home after the seller has moved out and completed repairs. Make sure everything as it's intended. I like to ask the seller to also include repair receipts so you have a record of what was done, because you can't always tell that just by looking at it. I have a concierge service which helps you with your move that you can elect to take advantage of. It helps connect you with a mover. It can even help you with someone to help you pack, someone to help you transfer utilities and these kinds of things. And then it's your agent's job too to make sure that you get the keys, you get your mailbox keys, you get your remotes for your garage door openers, and you're just ready to take possession